What's good, my people? It's MAGA Hat Monday. Let's do it.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil, chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
Welcome to the MC Tutor Show. I am your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host, the master of sound quality, MC Tutor. George's. Anyway, so how about that weekend shit show this past Saturday? All over the country, in woke cities throughout the nation, they held rallies called Hands Off. Now, for something this sophisticated and organized, it had to be some kind of Soros-funded thing. Antifa is George Soros funded. I believe Antifa has something to do with these Teslas burning up throughout the country. And, as I said, Antifa, I have reason to believe, is funded by Soros. We know Black Lives Matter is funded by George Soros. George Soros does not give a rat's ass about a black man being accosted by cops, which is a fraction of a percentage, by the way, just to let you know. And what I've been seeing going on the internet is a lot of us red folks, us MAGA hat wearing people from the MAGA hat wearing crowd. We're going out into these rallies or potential riots to interview the people to see how they think. And boy, oh boy, talk about every crevicing creature from the bowels of holy hell. Unholy hell, rather. And these characters were screaming, getting in people's face. Anybody that walked through that had a camera, that wanted to see how the other side lived, was being followed around by somebody. Like they all had a person who had a job to get in the face of any conservative commentator, to get in their face, to agitate, to aggravate. Somebody with a drum, somebody with a bell, somebody with a whistle, somebody with some other type of noisemaker, just plain screaming and yelling, signs to block their own faces, putting their hands in the way of the camera. A lot of COVID masks, of course, because you had a lot of people with those COVID masks that you would buy over the counter during the pandemic at the local bodega. Not even the decency to get the N95. Ain't that something? And these characters, they just want to agitate, aggravate, and try to send a message out to people on the feds that we are the bad guys. Yes, I am with Team Trump. See, here's the deal with this. People who support the leading candidate that's going against the leading Republican, they're not with the team of that candidate. Like, there really was no Team Kamala and your average Joe was part of it. Because your average Joe that's a Democrat is looked down upon by the upper echelon of the Democratic Party. Looked down upon by the Democratic Party leaders. So, Kamala supporters are considered low-life worker ants in the eyes of people who really were with Team Kamala, propping her up to try to pass her off as a decent candidate for president. Come 2028, they'll scrub her name, and it'll be either Team Shapiro, Team Pritzker, Team Waltz, Team Newsom, because they really want to try to polish up Gavin Newsom's name, or at least he's trying to polish up his own name with these stupid podcasts. And we got to meet people in the middle. We got to have a dialogue. Now you're having a dialogue? You could have just ran your state properly, and there'd be no need for this type of dialogue. People would have liked you. They would have voted for you. But you're a dick with a shitty podcast, with shitty guests like Tim Waltz, who think they could kick Republican ass and still haven't answered the challenge of Knox County, Tennessee Mayor Glenn Jacobs, also known as Kane, the Big Red Machine. But yeah, to those guys, to the guys you see on TV and gals, Kamala, Hillary, somewhere in between, somebody like Sarah McBride or whoever, to those people, amongst themselves, they're that team, and if you're supporting them, they look down on you. They make jackasses out of you while they lead you to slaughter. Where on our side, our current guy is Donald Trump, President of the United States, who's doing a lot of wonderful things that I voted for, that I enjoy. The very things the Democrats are bitching about are the very things I want happening and that I'm glad are happening. Because it's of no consequence to me, and it's only of consequence to people who want to reap from the country, who aren't looking for a better way of life for themselves. They're just looking for a diabolical way to tear the country down. And so, Trump and company are getting rid of it. And yes, I could say I'm part of that team, because that team doesn't look down on its supporters the way the Democrats look down on their supporters. So, you got some people that are paid instigators, paid rioters, paid rally goers, who also, on occasion, double up as crisis actors, holding up a picture of some kid who's very much alive, saying that we need to stop the gun violence. Now, I'm not saying everybody who lost a child by the hands of some psycho with a gun is a crisis actor. Of course they're not. But there are people that do that, and shame on you for doing that. Excuse me. And so, these rallies are trying to bring people who are on the fence over to the left, serving the same purpose as the people like me who pull people over to the right with these broadcasts. And this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue doing these things until somebody physically stops me. And there's nobody on the freaking left side that'll do that. There's nobody who's got the brass in the trousers, so to speak, that'll do that sort of thing. All they know how to do is jump and dance around for attention when they see somebody that they might suspect is conservative with a camera and a microphone. And these people are unholy. They need to cut that unholy business out and start going to church so they can find God. Speaking of which, respect God, watch out for the Illuminati, follow and share this wonderful content. Stay strong, keep kicking that slang. This is your boy in the building, hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, who of course just so happens to be hardcore, fierce, and sexy, MC Too Tall. Yaha.